So what we're going to do today is I got a recipe from one of my viewers, which I can't wait to try. It's for cornbread. And what you'll need is 2/3 of a cup of butter or margarine softened, which I have right there. 1 cup of sugar, which I have. 3 eggs, which I have right there. 1 2/3 of a cup of milk, which I have there. You will need 2½ cups of flour, which I have right there. And you'll need 1 cup of cornmeal, which I have right there. I actually was going to make these last night, but I thought I had cornmeal and I didn't. I used it last year for my garden. It's a long story, but I probably have a video if you look back, I'm not sure. And you'll also need 4½ teaspoons of baking powder, which I have right there, and 1 tablespoon of salt, which is right there. So the first step is we're going to cream the butter and sugar in the mixer. So I'm going to use my KitchenAid mixer for this. Now, ShalimarPerfume sent me the recipe. I hope I do it justice. So I'm just going to get the mixer ready, and we're going to start together, get the cream, the butter, and the sugar within the mixer. So we're going to skip to that part, and I'll show you what to do next. For the cornbread, we need to preheat the oven to 400. So now I have the oven preheated. So the first step in making the cornbread is we're going to cream the butter and sugar in the mixer. Now that is the 1 cup of sugar and the 2/3 of butter or margarine, depending on what you want to use. So I'm just going to put the sugar in there. And as well as the butter. Now I'm using the white attachment for my mixer instead of the whisk or anything else. I only have the 3. I have the dough hook, the whisk, and that one right there. I haven't bought any attachments yet because they're very costly, and the mixer in itself was a splurge, so I definitely don't want to spend any more money right now because I currently do not have any. So I'm just going to turn that on and show you what it looks like. I'm going to turn that mixer on and mix it together. I'm really going to do it at low speed just to cream that together. So then what we're going to do after that is we're going to combine the eggs and milk together in a bowl. And I'm just going to add the eggs into the measuring cup instead of dirtying another bowl. So that looks like it's mixing together rather nicely. So I'm just going to skip to the next step. So the next part of the recipe requires us to take the 3 eggs, which I have right here, and we're going to mix them with the milk. So I'm going to do that right now. And instead of dirtying a bowl, I just decided to use the measuring cup. And I'm just going to combine those and use a fork to basically mix it up. I'm going to put a link at the bottom of this video, and if you want to check out her page, she's a great, definitely a great commenter, a great inspiration. Like, she, I definitely think she should do some more videos because she has a great personality. And that's what life's all about. It's having people that you can talk to that have, you know, great personality. And then, so what we're going to do after we combine that is we're going to combine the flour, cornmeal, the baking powder, and the salt in another bowl. And I have the flour all ready. So as you can see, we have our 2½ cups of flour, all-purposed, And we have our cup of cornmeal. Now I'm going to add that in. And I'm also going to add in the 4.5 teaspoons of baking powder. As well as the 1 teaspoon of salt. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take the whisk and mix that up. And you want to make sure that I assume that it's thoroughly mixed throughout. Can already see the texture actually starting to change. There's the button letting me know that the oven is at its right temperature. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start adding it in with the cream butter, and we're going to alternate between the wet ingredient and the dry ingredient on when we're adding it in. So we're just going to skip to that step and I'll show you what it looks like. So what we're going to do is we're at the stage now, we're going to add the dry and wet ingredients. So I'm just going to turn that on to a low temperature. A low setting. And I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of the dry ingredients. And now I'm going to add some of the liquid in as well. And then we'll go to dry again. And this way you'll be able to see that the texture is changing. More. And some more wet. Having my mixer does take the strain of kneading and mixing off my I would give up a lot of the basic things in life that make life easier, but my mixer at this point, it allows my wrist to be able to do things that sadly they're not able to do too much anymore. They're actually starting to look really great. More liquid in there. Let that absorb, and then I'll add some more in. So I'm going to continue to do this until the rest of the ingredients are mixed through, and I'll show you what that will look like. So I just wanted to fast forward and show you what it looks like when it's all combined together, and as you can see it looks great. So I'm just going to take it and put it in a lightly dusted pan. So I'll fast forward to that part. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the pan that I'll be using, and this is the pan I'm using today, and we're going to dust the bottom of it with flour. And a good way to dust it, I find, is by shaking it, but it doesn't seem to be working today, so. And then we're going to add in our batter, so I'm going to do that next. Okay, as you can see, after we let it sit for a few minutes, it did flatten out a little bit. So we're going to put it in the oven now, set our timer for 22 minutes, and then we'll check on it. And I'll fast forward and show you what it looks like. So this is what the cornbread looks like at 22 minutes. I'm just going to let it cook for another 3 or 4 minutes and see how it does. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a toothpick right here, poke it through, see if it comes out clean. And it did, so it's done. So I'm going to take it out of the oven now that it's been 25 minutes, and I'm going to cut it up and see how good it turned out. So this is what it looks like once you take it out of the oven, and as you can see, it's delicious looking. So I'm just going to, thanks for watching, and I'm going to cut it and have a slice and see how it does. So I just wanted to show the texture of the cornbread once it's been cut, and as you can see, it does have a nice fluffy texture, and it didn't stick to the pan, so it was great. And I cut it in little squares there, and I'm sure it's going to be enjoyed by a few. So thanks for the recipe, and check out her channel, and thanks for watching. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button.